here. Let's see. Cool. Should be live there.
Yeah.
Live here. And we are live. Awesome. Krishna, thanks for joining me, my friend. Really appreciate it. Good to
Thank
see you
you.
as always.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Yeah,
Hope
good
all is well.
afternoon to you. Quick way to get started. Give us a good 60-second synopsis as to what led you to where you're at in your life today.
Right. Yeah, so I think my background is pretty traditional. I went to school, did my master's and then got into corporate world, worked in many different industries for a long time at several management roles. And after 20 plus years, transitioned to, business ownership slash entrepreneurship. And then have had my own, challenges, the initial 2, 3 years struggles and things like that. But, I still had a grand slam success where we built an IT company and then sold it for, multiple 7 figures. That's back in 2012. That gave me a breakthrough. And then from there, I moved on and developed a couple of other products that we were able to either sell for other companies or leverage it for our own business. And 2016 I started Genius Visionary and transitioned to consulting and coaching. Now I'm primarily focused on helping business owners to increase their revenue, structure their companies in the right way, increase valuations, help them on exit strategies, market expansions, and several other things that can come under that realm. And I own a real estate company simultaneously, and I have a women fashion retail or business in addition to what I'm doing right now. So that's where I am.
Is there any industry you're actually not in right now? Got fashion, got tech, got consulting.
Yeah. So
man of many talents, many refined talents.
Well, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. So
What
yeah,
was that
it has.
like? What was that like in the early days, going through a exit in your business?
Well, early days were real tough. I was just trying to, a lot of, I would say, wishful thinking. A lot of optimism. That I can do this, I can do this. I can do this. I have this background. But the reality is, it's tough. It's really tough out there because um, you got to be good at planning. You got to be good at execution. You got to be good at hiring, training, mentoring people, understanding the market, understanding competition. So a lot of these things I learned along the way, but it was really tough for me for the initial 2, 3 years. And then you have your money problems, cash flow issues. Um, yeah, but I've been constantly focusing on the learning side. What did I learn from this, and then not repeating the same mistakes again, I think is the key. So that made me to slowly transition to a little more predictable models and predictable business that I could manage and run. So now I'm at a point where I kind of try to avoid as much mistakes as I can, because I definitely made a lot of mistakes along the way. And as I said, the lessons learned, and then not repeating those mistakes, and then being aware, what else can go wrong, what else am I missing, and then that's when I think the team surrounding you, the advisors that are around you, they really matter. Who are you listening to? You got to really be very careful about that. And then you got to be always be aware that you got to have a bunch of smart people around you, because you will have blind spot. These are the guys who are going to tell you, maybe you're missing these things, maybe this can be done in a different way. So that's what I learned, and that's why I realized the value of people, value of teams, value of mentors, advisors, value of the success stories, and then learn from them. What did they do right? And then You don't need to reinvent everything. You just need to follow some of the steps that they already took, and then just follow and make sure that you have that discipline, like daily disciplines, in the way you manage and run your business. Yeah.
I think that's important to touch on. Is you mentioned mentors. I mean, big
Yeah.
premise of B2B mentors is
Yes.
you can't go at it alone. You can't go at it in a
No.
vacuum. You need
No.
others who have made those mistakes. So
Yes.
what form did that take for you? Did you build a board of people who have built
Yeah.
seven-figure businesses and had exited, or did you pay mentors? Like what kind of formatting did that
Well,
take for you?
in my case, I paid a lot, to many different mentors. Well, I invested so much money. In fact, half of my revenues went for my mentoring, coaching, and my learning and whatnot. I went to every possible source to learn what I don't know. And I'm confident today. I can tell that I made a worthy investment, which is going to pay me over the period of my life. But I think many business owners, they do not realize. They think investment. They think investing on their product. Investment means investing on the infrastructure, people, and things like that. What they don't really understand is they need to invest on themselves. If you are not right, nothing is right. You can have everything right in the business, and then you're the one who is making sure everything is right. What you're not realizing is, if you're not right, nothing can be right. So that's the thing. So your success is directly proportional to your ability to take right decisions, your ability to anticipate problems, your ability to understand market, your ability to understand the strategy, or navigate the complexity of the business. And if you lack any of those things, then your decisions are as good as your thought process. And if you don't understand technology, so you may be missing many options out there for you for making it efficient, right? So that's why I think it's important, one, to realize the importance of investing on themselves, and it's a constant process. And then that's the only difference between extremely successful business people to an average. What's the difference between these two guys? A startup business versus an extremely successful business. It's the thought process. What is it that they know that you don't know? That's the only
Because they're
difference.
investing. They're investing into themselves, not just their business, not just
No,
employees,
no,
operations.
they're investing. They're not telling you. Maybe they're not telling you. Maybe you're not looking at it from that. But you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know how much they invest on themselves, or what kind of, you got to pay the price. There's no shortcuts about it. This is not a trial and error kind of a thing. Every day you go and try something and you fail and you come back, you will lose whole life just trying trial and errors. But when are you going to learn the lessons? Business needs that kind of wisdom. But the wisdom, it has a time and place. You cannot spend 30 years to become wise. By the time you lost a whole life and you lost the time. In life, we want money and time, and at the right place at the right time. And that's what we're trying to manage all the time. And how can you crunch that time frame? How can I be wise today? That's the key here. Not how can I be wise after 20 years, right? So where will that come from? That's where you're seeking, your mentors, your advisors. They're telling from their lifestyle, lifetime experiences. They have paid the price. But
I think people look at that mentorship in kind of a one directional way, but you can invest in mentors. You can add value to mentors.
Absolutely.
You can pay people to help give you that information. They don't even have to have a service around it. I can find a CEO in an industry that I'm passionate about, and go pay them to help me with knowledge.
Absolutely.
So
they will do that. See, it's like this, right? There is no structure for your progress. You are in the driving seat. You decide your destiny. Now you have to go and constantly keep looking. Who is that person who can really, who went through this path? You need to look for which path you are taking in your life, in your career, right? And look for the guy who went to this path. Are you building a company to become, $10, $100 million in the next 2 years? Or you're looking to have a business which is going to make 500,000 and then you're happy with your life? That's the question. And depending on what your goal is, look for the guy who did that. Look for, like, if I want to make $200 million in the next 3 years, the basic criteria for me is I need to know at least 5 people who did that. Where are these 5 people? I need to look for. They're not waiting for you. Nobody will tell you who they are. You do your research. You find out, and then they're out there, and reach out to them. If you're lucky enough, you'll see eventually land up meeting a couple people, and there you go. Who is the right person then guiding you to get there? That's not what I see happening in the market. We are so busy in doing things. That's why we lost everything. We never take time to sit and think and see how these things can happen. We are so busy. I'm busy today to do something in my business, so I will be more busy tomorrow to do that's another thing, because it's like cause and effect. You're prospecting on a daily basis. Now these prospects, these calls will lead to some other action. You have to take some action tomorrow, and that action will lead to another action. It compounds. And you are in the cycle of doing things and doing things and doing things, but you never got to a place where you sit and stop and then get to this kind of approach.
I think people get, especially American business owners, it's a culture thing. Let's circle back on that. I am curious to ask you, Krishna, with even the mentorship you've had, what are some of the major roadblocks and challenges that you still faced and had to overcome? And going back, you could have even avoided them. What is some of that you've overcome over the years?
I think it goes back to your belief system. What do you believe? What is your core belief? Like I said, do you really believe that you can build $100 million revenue company? Do you really believe in that? Or is it just wishful thinking? Oh, I want to be a billionaire. I want to become rich. I want to be wealthy. I want to, drive the fancy car. I want to go. All those things are good. But when it actually, comes to a point where you have to do it, many people don't realize that they don't have that internal dialogue or internal belief system. Externally, they want, but internally, they're not ready. They become so uncomfortable. Today you get your Bugatti. Do you really feel that you're comfortable driving? You're worried, it's like a big deal for you because you're not mentally ready for it. It just came into your life. You don't even have a garage. You don't even know how to take care of the car. So because you're internally not having that belief, that's not coming. Whatever you're actually looking for is not coming to you. I had the same challenges. I realized that later point. And then belief system is one. And second thing is fear. You have some fear of unknown. What would happen when I have this? Sometimes it creates a lot of uncomfortability internally. You're not comfortable because if you are building that such big company, you may have like 50 employees. Do you know how to manage 100 employees or 50 employees? You probably not. But do you even have skills to do that? No, maybe not. Do you know how to invest that kind of money? Maybe not. So you are asking these questions to yourself and you're getting no. And then in physical world, you're working so hard to get there. How will that happen? So the first thing is to go inside and get that corrected. Internally, you should be ready for it. Yeah, I mean, this is not a big deal. When I get $100 million, my company makes this kind of money. This is my office. This is the kind of employees I have. These are the activities that I will do on a daily basis. These are my, direct reportees. I will have this kind of, income coming in. This is what I'm going to invest on. This is my lifestyle. This is what is going to generate. If you are able to visualize those things, I'll have this bunch of advisors. I don't know accounting. I don't know my legal stuff. I have these advisors supporting me on a daily basis. So if you have this kind of a little roadmap, then you get to the game, you will have solutions just like that popping in front of you.
And in your earlier phases of your career, you didn't have that stuff put together or prepared.
No, I don't have it. I have gone.
You're like, I want the Bugatti and I want the fancy stuff, and then
you're all over the place, and it's not coming. It's not coming. The problem is you're doing all the right things. That's not coming. The very thing that you're trying for is not coming.
Yeah.
But you're doing all the right things, but you're not understanding where is the issue. The issue is not outside, issue is inside. Issue is, you should feel that worthiness, your worthiness, your belief system, your fears. You have to conquer all those fears. You should not have any fears. The fear is the biggest thing that is going to stop you all the time. Fear of unknown. If you ask what is it, what are you fearful of? They don't know, but they're fearful.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So,
and it's it's part of human nature too. Yes. And you and I had even talked about this before. As I started, I try to be as mindful as I can and be focused. I started doing, because I realized I had a barrier of self-sabotage, right? I'd get a little inkling, little taste of success, and then in certain ways would self-sabotage myself. And I started doing these binaural beats that were geared towards that, specifically towards self-sabotage. And I've actually consistently doing that. It's not overnight, over a couple months, a few months, have actually noticed big differences in abundance in my life, which is just crazy, especially during the time that we're in right now. But where I'm getting at with that, and something that I really like talking with you about, and I think is really important for everyone listening to this to share, is that internal journey. You've mentioned it a couple of times. What does that mean for you? What are the steps to that internal journey for outward success?
Success, yeah. So the internal journey is that, first of all, everybody has to, sit back and then ask this question: who you are, who am I? Who am I as a person, right? Like, what's my personality? Who am I? What are my likes? What are my dislikes? What is that I really want in my life? And then once you start asking such questions, you will get some answers, your personality traits, your likes, dislikes. You got to be truthful yourself. You're not answering anybody, so you might as well face the reality. Once you have that in place, then you have a starting point in terms of what is it that I need to do that aligns to who I am. Because if there is no alignment, then there's a problem. That needs to align to your personality. I hate talking to people, but I want to become an entrepreneur. It's a conflicting expectation. How is that possible? So then you need to address one issue to get the other one, or you need to change the the expectation itself. So that's where there's a problem. Social media is for kids. This is not something that I do. You're eliminating everything, all the options for your marketing, because you have your own mindset.
You said social media is for kids. That's what you said. Is that their mindset? Yeah.
Some of my clients, they tell me, the business owners that I coach, they tell me like this: oh, this thing is for like teenagers.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's more of a reflection on them in their own internal negativity, not
no. On the other side, in the same context, I have other business owners crushing their business and numbers just using the same social media. They're 60-year-olds. It's just the mindset, right? So again, once you have that clarity on who you are, then understand your core value system. What is it that you want? You want to help people, you want to make money, you want to do this, you want to do that, and then you start your business, and then you go there. That aligns, take an opportunity that aligns to your personality. There needs to be an alignment. There should not be some resistance. You cannot not like people and then try to be in sales. I don't like to talk to people, but I want to be the best sales guy. That kind of a expectation is ridiculous. And I don't want to sit in one place, but my profession is accounting. How does that work? I like traveling. I want to be always on the move, but I want to be in accounting. This is the kind of psychology. This is the thing that I'm seeing when I'm coaching my customers. All the time I see there is a conflicting expectation internally, and their personality is something else. When these two things are not aligning, how will you become the best? At best, you can become average in your life. So that's where, if they address that and align that with their personality, then they'll be amazing. Then there is flow. You're creating the natural flow. The success comes naturally. I like helping people, so thereby I'm coming with solutions and offerings to my marketplace that helps people. Every day I'm not even sleeping because I want to go and help one more person. That's my psychology, because that is who I am. My energy is everywhere in the marketplace. If I stay on the table, everybody can feel that energy. This guy is not somebody to sell and walk away. This guy is here to help me. I like this guy. I want to work with this guy. Your energy shows when you're sitting on the table.
100%.
Yes.
How have you over time cultivated that internal and regularly, like even to this day? What kind of habits, practices are you doing?
I think meditation definitely helps. I believe that you got to be aware of your own frequency, internal frequency, and if you want to be in that high vibrational frequency, you got to also make sure that people surrounding you are at that frequency or above. So they're always elevating you. They're not pulling you down. Got to be always be aware of the negative energies around you, which means people or even the environments. What you see, what you speak, and with whom you are is nothing but who you are. If those three things are not right and you do everything right, nothing happens. If those three things are right, and even if you are doing average job, you will be like a top performer, because those are influencing you unknowingly. These are, you are programming yourself at an unconscious level by putting yourself in situations, places, and things that will automatically propel you to be successful.
A lot of business owners don't, the meditation is either woo woo or it's sounds very difficult and is very difficult to get into practice. How can people in that position listening get started with that?
I think, as I said, every day they need to spend some time before they start the day in solitude. They need to be alone every day, religious, no cell phones, no email, no nothing. Spend some time, even if it is 2 minutes to 5 minutes to 10 minutes. Slowly they can increase the time, and then just relax. Then the thoughts will start flowing. Slowly, you develop that stillness. As you start practicing that, what happens is you are connecting to your own source. From there, you will get all these brilliant ideas. Whatever you're really trying to solve for the rest of the day, you can get those answers through the silence. And then when you go and act, you act with clarity, purpose, and then with tremendous amount of focus. And thereby you will excel in what you do. And that shows in everything that you do. As you start, doing this on a consistent basis, you will have to be automatically successful, because you have very less odds, because the clarity is coming from within. It's not coming from outside. You're not finding solutions from outside. You have to you will have to go back to that silence and ask for answers. You will get answers. How you will get, where you will get, I don't know, but you will get answers.
So even just being alone, removing yourself,
everything, to declutter yourself with everything externally that's going on. I have my 10 o'clock meeting. I have my deadline today. I have a big negotiation going on at 2 o'clock. Don't worry about all of those things. Just take few moments of silence alone, and then reflecting upon yourself. Take a deep breath. Just try to relax. And then from there, whatever is really bothering you, let that come in. And from the silence, you get a solution. Let's say you're trying to negotiate. You can come up with five best scenarios that you could come up with while you're not at the negotiating table. Today, I have this big negotiation going on. I need plan B, plan C, plan D, plan E, plan F. I cannot get that by sitting in my office, because once I get to my office, I have all kinds of distractions. My emails, my other meetings, my this, my that. And then if I don't have those things in place when I'm sitting on the table, whoever is ready with those strategies is going to crush the other party. And if I'm not ready, chances are I lose. And I don't know that I'm losing it. This is happening on a daily basis.
I'm excited to see how American business professionals are much more receptive to this message. And it's really important. I mean, me as a young entrepreneur, I thought when I first started, I got to be as busy as I possibly can. Right. And that's how I'm going to succeed. Yeah. And then when I've actually started culling noise out of my life, my income's gone up, my business has grown, and all those things combined. So you're speaking to things that I've applied myself to and have proven to work.
I've seen a lot of billionaires, they do that. They may not tell you what they're doing it, but they're all people who are really, at the top, and they have seen the pinnacle success. They have some form or other way for them to reflect, like whatever I've just said. And that's how they were able to always stay in control. Because that's very important. Are you in control? Every day you need to check that. Are you in control? What does that mean is, if you're not in control, then what is the meaning of that? That means somebody is in control, which is not good in business. This is the right question. You are my client. I'm trying to, work with you. Again, the same question. Who is in control? In a positive sense, who is in control? In the sense, how do you lead your customer to a conversation that leads to something? If you do that, you are leading him to get there. And if you're not doing it, it's not getting there. You're speaking, you're having a conversation. That's how you get to the success. And if you don't do, these kind of things, yeah, you have a sales call, you have a customer call, you're dealing with the customer, nothing happens. And you don't know why. You're doing everything. Oh, today I made 20 calls. Oh, great. What happened? What's the outcome? Oh, 80-22. Okay, so then I justify my failures, right? That's how I justify. There are other things
going on. It's amazing how we justify why we got to work hard and be in pain a lot of the time,
Yeah.
Amazing how we justify something like that.
So the reality here is, every little thing helps in business,
Definitely,
because we are all, always trying to be top of our game. It's all about practice. Yeah, you got to spend more time in practice, less time in actually playing the game. You just go there to just win. Everything else is practice, according to me. You need to have that mentality. You just go there to just win and get the prize. You're not going to just waste your time doing all the same. Everything, always you keep on practicing 24 hours. Just go there, win, and get the prize. That's your job. But that's not what we are doing. We are always trying to do. And then finally, one day I will win. And then I will feel I'm successful, if at all I'm successful.
So we touched on the internal journey, and one thing that you brought up is also that we had talked about prior is the statistics of businesses that make it. No matter the industry, whether it's B2B, B2C. What was the actual stat that you mentioned the other day?
Yeah. 50% businesses fail in the next 2 years, and 80% fail in the next 5 years, the businesses that start. And 96% of the business owners will never reach $1 million revenue in their lifetime. So that's pretty, strange statistics, very scary. If I'm starting a business, it's so disappointing to know those numbers, right? So why is that? What's wrong? Where is the problem, right? So it revolves about everything that we're talking here. It's just not, I have a great idea, I'm going to go and crush it. I have a great product, I'm going to go make money. I know you made money, so I will make money. That doesn't help. It looks easy from outside, but when you go and do the very thing that they're doing it, you may not get the same result. So various factors that are making these things happen, because as I said, it goes back to the clarity. Why did you even start a business? Just because you failed in your job, did you start your business? Or you started business because it is cool? Or is it because you just want to be a billionaire like anybody else? But if you go figure out the statistics, you have more chances, to fail like this. If you don't do right things, you have to make sure that you do everything, in your capability right every day to make sure that you stay on top. You're not like any other statistic. You will be successful. Like I was saying that, right? You got to take care of your marketing. You got to take care of your sales. You need to work on yourself. You need to know what's out there available for you to sell your product or build your teams. You need to know all of those things. Without knowing all these things, when I make $1 million, then when I hire people, then I will learn how to hire and manage people. That's not going to happen.
And that's what I was going to ask you too, is I think you mentioned three, or I think it was 2 or 3 actual foundations. We touched on the internal. What about the external things? What should business development leaders, business owners, marketers be doing? What are the foundations that you like to teach on?
I think that for anybody in B2B space, or anybody who is having these customer interactions, right? B2B, B2C, or any kind of business development activity, I think they need to have some daily disciplines. The daily discipline is, first of all, you need to have some metrics, right? If I have $1 million goal, like revenue goal, how do I get to that number? Like, what's my ticket value? Like how many, what's the size of the market? What is the size of this market is that I'm targeting at? Let's say if your market size is 500 million, what is it that your company is targeting at? Are you looking at 3 million? Okay, if it's 3 million, how many of these prospects that I need to touch base, and then how much of that would convert, right? How much will translate to sale? If you have those things in place, then you need to break it down to your monthly, your weekly, your daily, and then you should start focusing on implementing those things on a daily basis. Not giving corona excuse as an excuse, virus is an excuse. All these excuses, you should keep them aside. You need to have them as your daily disciplines. If the market is closed, you still make those 10 calls. It has nothing to do with the market. You have to figure out where the customer is. Customers are all the time, every time available, 24 hours. You just don't know where they are. That's the only difference. If they're not offline, then they're online. If they're online, they're on Facebook. If they're not on Facebook, they're on something else. They're there. You need to, as a marketer, as a business, B2B guy, it's our job to figure out a way to connect with them. If we follow those daily disciplines, it can be a systematic way to reach to the goal. I think that is the biggest missing link that I see. I don't think that people are having this attitude that I explained, that without reasoning, without telling today is a Sunday, today is a holiday, oh, today is Thanksgiving, oh, today is Christmas. According to me, all these things are excuses. They may be facts, but excuses for not making a sale. If you have that kind of a mentality, you will win.
And in terms of mentality too, I think people get hung up on things outside of that seem too big or scary to them. So what I mean by that is, for a business owner that wants to go big, from your experience and from your mentors and even your own business experience, what is the difference between doing a $50,000 deal and a multi-billion-dollar deal?
I think the only difference between these two things is mindset and belief system. And the first thing is, as I said, it's your job to work on your internal thermostat. Nobody is going to set the temperature inside you. Like, if you think you make $1 million and go to Florida and have a great retired life, the answer is great. That is so right. If you think you need to have at least $100 million to just have the retirement life in Florida, you're 100% right. Nobody is telling the number. You are telling inside. So, and we are completely unaware of that. What is that I feel that I'm worthy enough to have? that I wanted, that I really believe that is acceptable for me, is something that I need to ask for myself. And this is what most of these, I think the folks that are in sales, they're not realizing that they don't have the belief system. They don't believe that they can sell, you know, $100,000 high ticket item like today. What are you talking about? What kind of economy are we in? We are heading to depression. We are heading to recession. Every day, look at the unemployment rate. This is how you justify for not selling your 100,000 item. I can prove it to you today. There are customers buying millions of dollars of products every day, like today, right now. It's your own belief system. You have to believe that these things are happening all day long, and you need to. So once, that's the only difference between, you know, $50,000 deal versus $500 million deal to. Because yeah, I have got chance to work with, you know, family offices who manage, you know, multi-generational billionaires' wealth and things like that. And I did get opportunity to interface at many levels with several billionaires. And what I realize is just they're all normal people, just like anybody else. Everything is just same thing. The only thing is difference is this, the mind, the way they think. That's it. Nothing. There's no difference. The mindset and the way they look at it, you know. That's what it is. You may be talking about 100,000, they may be talking $100 million, just like any other some random thing. But once you start changing your belief system at a mental level, even if it is not real, your reality will change for sure. For sure, it will change. You have to believe you are the best sales guy in your company. Your boss is not going to tell you you will become the best. He is expecting you to become best, and then he will tell you that you are the best. But your job is to already believe that you are the best. That external reality has to match to your internal reality, because you already decided, I am the best. If I'm the best and there are 100 guys in my company, what's wrong with me? This alignment is not happening, right? So then my external reality will change to my internal reality, because you set your thermostat at that level, the whole environment, everything has to change and adjust to that frequency. You're tapping these high-end clients. You're looking where these clients are. You're looking how you can, you know, reach out to those guys. And then naturally, as you set this expectation, somehow or other, you will be meeting such customers who are willing to pay the top dollar, irrespective of the situation. It happens all day long. You have to believe so strong that whatever is a reality, you should not accept the reality. You're so broke that you have no clue how much you're broke, but still you need to believe I'm the best guy. You still need to have that kind of a bit, because external reality will have to change. The reality will change for you to match to your internal reality. And that's the mindset of these best guys. That's what I realized. If you look at their phases of life, some people are literally they're like homeless and, you know, multiple times homeless and all kinds of scenarios. They're going to such big levels only because their internal reality has stayed there. Only thing, external reality changed. And then we think that it's a success, but they're already successful long back internally.
Love it. Krishna, on that note, appreciate you sharing all your wisdom with us today. And love if you could shout out real quick, how can people get into contact with you, and anything else additional you'd like to share?
Yeah, so I help business owners at various levels to, you know, reach their goals, revenue goals, exit strategies, or acquisitions, and many other expansion related aspects of business. So the best way anybody can contact me is Krishna@geniusbusinesscoach.com, and that's Krishna@geniusbusinesscoach.com. I'm also offering free business coaching 3-part video series. Once they go to my website, they can sign up. They will get that. They also can get access to my free book. That they can use the strategies that I listed. take advantage of all that free stuff available. And if they need any additional help, they can always schedule a time to talk to me, and we'll figure out a way to help them.
Beautiful. And how can they get in contact with you?
Yeah, Krishna at geniusbusinesscoach.com.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Go and connect with him on LinkedIn, send him an email.
Yes. I'm on LinkedIn. I accept, almost all connections. And, my number is on that. My personal email is also on that. So I'm accessible to everybody.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, my friend. I can't really appreciate you. Grateful for the insights. All of you listening right now, again, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and we'll